Hi everyone, thank you for joining. Welcome you, Rasel, for your presentation about setting up your first CloudStack environment.
Thanks. Hello everyone. Let me share my screen and I will present about the setting up your first CloudStack environment with some beginners challenges. Can I start?
Sure, go ahead.
I think I am unable to share my screen. Must disable participant screen sharing. Thanks.
Are you sharing your screen, Rasel? Oh, now we can see it.
Yeah. Is it visible to all?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the topics I have chosen that setting up your first CloudStack environment with beginners challenges. It is a very basic level sessions, and I expect my audience are the new in CloudStack environment, and they are want to know about CloudStack environment and want to deploy their first CloudStack environment with some beginners challenges, which I have faced when I first deployed my CloudStack environment in my current organization. And I thought that I have to talk about the challenges and the CloudStack environment for basic level deployment. So that I chosen that topics, and hopefully I will talk about the basic session of CloudStack environment. So here is the agenda. As I earlier mentioned that it is a very beginner levels and basic level session. So I designed my agenda as this. I will talk about the Apache CloudStack, then talk about the planning your CloudStack deployment. What should be the deployment model and how you can deploy your first Apache CloudStack environment on your testing server. Then we will talk about the hypervisor selections. What type of hypervisor should we choose when we are going to deploy our first CloudStack environment? After that, I will talk about the storage consideration. What type of storage should I take, or what type of storage should we take when we are going to plan for our first CloudStack environment? Network selection will be talk about after the storage consideration. Then I will try to elaborate some demo about the installation and setup, followed by the CloudStack configurations. Then the last challenges for the beginners, which I have faced in my earlier CloudStack environment deployment. So I try to figure out a few challenges when I was a beginners with the Apache CloudStack, and try to share my challenges with the resolutions. So about me, I am Mohammed Rasel. I have been working with virtualization since 2016, and currently I am working as a cloud technology manager in Bracknet Limited. Bracknet is a joint venture company with KDDI, Devta partner, and Bangladeshi Brack. So here my goal is to set up Apache CloudStack environment for private and public cloud operations. We are trying to build Apache CloudStack environment from the scratch since last 8 to 9 months, and we will hopefully we will deploy it and we'll bring a production level solution for our customers. So I love traveling. Traveling is my hobby, though I am unable to present physically in a CloudStack collaboration conference, and but I love traveling. Reading books and learning new technologies is my most favorite hobbies, and I always read books when I got sometimes from the this from my work. I will love to read books and learning new technologies. So let's talk about Apache CloudStack. In Bangladesh, most of the company who are providing cloud service, they are use OpenStack platform for their public and private cloud infrastructures. So Apache CloudStack is new for us, and most of the company didn't know about the Apache CloudStack and about the Apache CloudStack stack scalability and deployment. So this should be the first thing we need to know about the Apache CloudStack. So Apache CloudStack, can talk about Apache CloudStack, that open source cloud technology for building your first infrastructure as a service. And this is a highly scalable and easily deployable IaaS platform, which will be give you the on-demand cloud computing service, and the end user can provision their resource from Apache CloudStack platform. Planning of your first Apache CloudStack setup, you need to think about this thing, which I have written in my slides, that first of all, you have to choose the deployment architecture. What type of deployment architecture should you take when you are going to deploy, when you are going to set up your first CloudStack environment? As it is a your first CloudStack environment, I choose the small scale deployment platform. And for beginning level, I think a small scale deployment platform is will be a good for any beginners who wants to start their journey with Apache CloudStack. The network selection type. What type of network do you want to choose? If you want basic or advanced, you have to first choose your deployment method. Then you need to choose the planning. You need to choose the network selection. If you have a single interface and in your testing or in your first deployment environment, and you can choose the basic Apache CloudStack network selection. If you have multiple interface, you can go with the advanced level networking concepts. Then choosing the hypervisor. What type of hypervisor are you going to use your first CloudStack environment? You can choose your hypervisor from the from differentiate of documentation from the Apache CloudStack. We will talk about the hypervisor choosing section. Then creating the appropriate storage. You have to choose the primary and secondary storage. What type of storage are you going to deploy on your first CloudStack environment? You have to manage the user role, and after deployment, after the environment is ready, you have to manage the user and role management. Then finally, the monitoring and billing section will come if your environment is ready. So in basic level, I think the user and role management is not necessary, but and monitoring and billing is also not necessary. Basic environment, we'll just gonna show, and we're just gonna talk about the network setup, hypervisor, and the storage selection process. So as my previous slide, I have talked about the hypervisor selections, and I said that in Apache CloudStack documentation, we got the hypervisor differentiation between few hypervisor which is supported by Apache CloudStack. So who are new to Apache CloudStack, they can choose the hypervisor with this type of features, and what type of features are they going to use, what type of disk, what type of security they're gonna use in their first environment. Just like that, if you choose ISKG storage, then All the hypervisors are supported the ISKG storage. High availability is supported by the Gen server, vSphere, and KVM. Then move on to the local disk as data disk. vSphere is not supported the local disk as data disk, but KVM and Gen server is supported. So planning for your hypervisor is depend on the feature you want, what type of feature you want for your environment, and what type of feature are you going to deploy in your first Apache CloudStack environment. So it's a very basic session, so that I included this hypervisor selection here. Know the feature you want to deploy in your CloudStack environment, and then select your KVM or Gen server or vSphere. Thus are a hypervisor that you need to deploy. Here in my first CloudStack environment, I use KVM, and the KVM is very handy to me, and I use the KVM for this for my first CloudStack environment setup. I use for 3 bare metal server and use a single management, and 2 KVM node on that. So you can choose that type of network, or you can also choose in your first environment. You can also choose a single bare metal or a single bare metal, and you can deploy with KVM on it with management server. In single node, you can install management server, KVM, and your storage in it. Then coming to the storage consideration, what type of storage you want to consider on your first Apache CloudStack environment. Choosing the right storage according to your deployment model. If you were choosing the small scale deployment, then NFS is a good choice for your storage consideration. NFS will be the good for small scale deployment, and for secondary storage, which will going to set up your, which is going to take your ISO and other related backups, then NFS will be used. You can choose ISKG or CLVM, but in my environment, I choose NFS for beginner level. NFS will be good for the beginner level setup in Apache CloudStack environment. Coming to the network selection. In Apache CloudStack environment, we are going to see about basic network and advanced network. Basic network, if you have a single physical network and you are going to deploy your first CloudStack environment, you can choose the basic network. But in case of firewall type, you need to set up your physical firewall. Load balancer, for load balancer, you need to set up a physical load balancer. You are not going to enjoy the source net in the basic network configuration, and you will get the DNS and DHCP both in advanced and basic network. But I think if anyone who are going to experience with Apache CloudStack and starting their journey with Apache CloudStack, they should start with advanced network. Why I choose the advanced network? Because advanced network, in advanced network, we can integrate in multiple. You can use multiple network interface, as and we can use the VPN. We can use port forwarding, both physical and virtual system. Then we will get the isolation type in layer 2 and layer 3 section. So the anyone who can deploy the Apache CloudStack for his first deployment, he can choose the advanced network, and advanced network will give him the very likely the other cloud environment who have the VPC, who have the isolation network, and that type of functionality they will get on advanced network. So for networking selection, I prefer advanced network. And in my first CloudStack environment deployment, first of all, I go with the basic network. Then I got there is nothing more to explore in basic networks, so that I moved to the advanced network selection. And in advanced network, I explore those things which are mentioned in these slides, and got the experience about the network selection in Apache CloudStack environment. So as I earlier mentioned that we are talking about the beginners level environment setting up in CloudStack Act. So here we have talked about the network selection, we have talked about the storage selections, and we have talked about the hypervisor selection. So we selected we plan about the Apache CloudStack environment deployment. We talk about the we select our hypervisor, we select our storage, we select our networking model. So after that we will deploy, we will install our CloudStack environment, and we'll talk about the challenges, what type of challenges I have faced during my installation and during my deployment of first CloudStack environment. When I first deploy my CloudStack environment, I got few errors and few challenges, which I think I have to mention in my slides, so that I highlighted these types of challenges in my slides. So let's talk about the challenges which I got when I deployed my first CloudStack environment. Although my talk is just for 30 minutes, I was unable to show you the demonstration. If I used to show you the demonstration about the installation of Apache CloudStack Management Server or Apache CloudStack full setup of with a single node, then it will take more than 30 minutes. Hopefully I can share it with next on the other side or other video. So let's talk about the challenges. The challenges first I have faced after the installation completed from the Apache CloudStack. I installed Apache CloudStack on bare metal, as I earlier mentioned that I use 3 nodes. 2 are using KVM and 1 are the management node. So first trouble which I get the HTTP error 503 service unavailable, and this is the most common error the beginners are getting, and I searched this type of error more and more in beginners level. So thought about mention this DB properties related error in which I have got on my first CloudStack environment deployment. The error is happening due to the mismatch of the db.properties file cluster node IP and the host file host name. Here I have showed you that I have the in cluster.node IP. If you put the public or private IP of your interface, network interface, then it will give you this type of error. If you install your CloudStack in a single node, management server, MySQL and others is in a single node, then you will get this type of error. So to solve this type of error, you have to mention the cluster node IP as required as your host name, or you can if you are using single node, you can use just localhost to resolve this type of DB properties issue. I use just localhost, and it solved my issue. The HTTP error 503 service unavailable are solved with this, and I got most of the solutions in GitHub and others related platform that they are suggested. This the DB properties are using your public interface or public IP, or the mismatch of your loopback or localhost IP with the DB properties cluster node IP. This is the first challenges I got on my first environment setup. And then one more challenges which I got in network configuration. If you are familiar with the Apache CloudStack, it is whether it is a basic or advanced model, we have to choose two virtual interface, CloudBear 0 and CloudBear 1. If you are planning for advanced network and planning for public and private interface differentiate, then CloudBear 0 and CloudBear 1 both are in hard-coded interface name on CloudStack. So when I first set up my environment, I was forget to put this label CloudBear 0 and CloudBear 1 on the network interface setup on the configuration of CloudStack. So everything was running smoothly, but network VM, system VM was not running, and the other thing was not working as my expectation. So I used to see the previous CloudStack collaboration conference videos, and then I got the a CloudStack setup environment where I see that the traffic level should be mentioned on the network interfaces, physical network interfaces, and then traffic types, guest, management, public. If you are planning to set up a single node in a CloudStack environment, and you have only one virtual interface, which will be CloudBear 0, then you can use CloudBear 0 for all the four interfaces, all the four traffic types, which will be guest, management, public, and storage. So all the four type of storage, you have to mention this traffic level that your bridge interface will be the CloudBear 0. Otherwise, the system VM will be on its starting. System VM will be remain on a starting level. It will not up. It will not got up, and you will not be able to create your instance, or other things might not be work as well as per your expectations. So that's the second challenges I faced, and I thought it should be shared with others who are new to Apache CloudStack environment. Then as I talk about the system VM stack at starting, my first in my first CloudStack environment, I got this type of error that my system VM is up but not in running mode. It is starting mode. It is in starting mode. So I I delete my first CloudStack, and then I install again and again, but the system VM is not starting, not running mode. It will remain starting. So I check few things that I have earlier mentioned, that network level not defining. Then the Java version mismatch. Is there any Java version mismatch? They are defining the Java version. So check the Java version mismatch issues. Network level not defining. If you not define your network level, or if you not import your system VM templates from the defined repository, then most common issue is the secondary storage is not attached successfully. If you are unable to attach your secondary storage in CloudStack, then the system VM will not be going to run, and you will unable to set up any instance, or you will unable to create any instance. Also, you have to check the CloudStack agent is not running successfully. CloudStack agent is running successfully or not? If it is not running successfully, then your system will not start or will not run. Finally, on more challenges which I have faced, ISO file uploading issues. Most of the case from my beginning, I have to mention, or I have to upload the ISO file on my management from the link, but I was unable to upload the ISO file from the uh, from my local desktop to the CloudStack server. So this is happening because of my secondary storage is not up, or secondary storage is not attached successfully, or any type of network error happening. So basically, private and public network will be if you are in a single node, then the issue will be not happening in your case. But my case, I use 3 nodes, and I use different and ISO for uploading. So it's getting me request field 530, unable to find image store to download template now. And this is the last thing I got in my Apache CloudStack challenges. So after all the challenges done, you will get this type of interface, and here your Apache CloudStack is ready to test, or your Apache CloudStack is ready to use. Thank you. Thanks everyone for being patient.
Thank you, Rasel. Thank you for your presentation. We have one question from the online session. Can you please explain if you need to build up the 2 management servers with HA?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
The question was if you had to build up your management servers with HA for host availability.
No. Building the HA for 2 management server high availability, we have faced few errors on this. When if you take a single if you take a database server in a on management server, then other management server have to mentions the database and the key of the server to the second node, and the key is stored in a CloudStack directory. You have to mention the key for the HA, and in our CloudStack environment, we are trying to deploying this type of HA and 2 management server. So we are facing some challenges. Hopefully, we will overcome those challenges.
Thank you, Russell. Any question in the room? Because we're getting out of time. Okay, thank you very much for your talk, Russell.
Thanks a lot.